everyone to Cassandra on the Fly, and today we're talking more about content creation. And you'll meet my dog Hazel. Say hello, Hazel. You mess with Hazel, you mess with me. The only time I ever got in a fight in my whole entire life, it was a fight over the fact that a man spit on my dog and I bashed him over his back. He chased after me, got back on his bike and ran away home. And then he actually became a drug addict and he died. Sorry, dude. Not my problem. Anyway, every moment in your life makes the next moment, makes the next moment, makes the next moment, makes the next moment is basically the message on that. We're talking about content creation, and it's a powerful tool to build a business is what they are telling you. Granted, it is a powerful tool to build the business. However, it's really focusing on the powerful business within the people already in the business. So it's very small gates are opening for those of us who are literally putting in the work, doing the work, because they see you as the threat, because they know if your content is seen by millions, that the whole industry will change. Meaning they're all living their businesses in unethical, illogical psychosis of convincing people that they're the next big thing. Especially when you come to ignorant millennials and Gen Zs, you want to understand that you can be a celebrity-esque in this business as a millennial Gen Z. However, you must know your place. That's the craziest part of all is these people who are in their 20s think they're high on life when they're actually failing miserably. They're failing miserably. When I'm watching people's content, it's very clear that it's a showmanship of manipulation as the forefront, whereas the essence of the knowledge being gifted is in the background. So it's a lot of like fancy, it's almost like it's an advertisement for something you never receive. It's an advertisement. Think of this. You think it's the whole content. You're watching 7 minutes of the most powerful tool to build your business. However, there is no information. It's all showmanship of how you're on a yacht, shaking hands and looking cool. Casually with no shoes on, sitting on a yacht while you parade around a prostitute in a fancy dress. Meaning you're building brand off of garbage. It even smells like garbage in here right now. To appease an audience, to appease a government system, to appease your brand of a child's toy, to appease a socialite network, because last year you showed up and you were on a yacht again, and that year she wore a bikini top and bikini bottoms with a cover-up, and that was her outfit. However, this year she aged tremendously, by the way, and this year she wore a dress recommended by the enemy, which is me. It's interesting to watch this community you call content creator when you don't give content. You don't give any context on real life situations because you're that lacking of self-awareness. And you think that parading yourselves around as if you're something special. However, you're telling us that you ain't SHIT. You're saying you ain't SHIT. However, you acting like you SHIT by parading around in this weird environment that makes your viewers uncomfortable. 1, you're not in America. 2, you're always on vacation. 3, it's unbelievably grotesque in the fact that you do not share any actual information. Why is social media important? It's utilized as a teaching tool for the younger generation. However, the younger generation, because of the older generation, thinks that they're the teachers. They're just manipulators in a younger body. Meanwhile, you're trying to bypass content creators who are really up to content creating and education so that AI can become the new educator, all associated with a grouped amount of info. So if I put in ... this comes up. If you put in the same ... the same thing will come up, which tells you what? Mind guiding the masses. When you take a look at newscast stations such as CNN, CBS, all that stuff, right? One individual owns the channel, meaning he's in charge. And he's not a good person because he's a billionaire. So he's in charge. That means you hear what he wants you to hear. That's not democracy, is it? It's the same thing that's going on within the news media, that's going on in social media. Meaning you don't have a choice on what you hear or see. You're being force-fed by the folks that are on these internet platforms. Because the internet platform is also owned by one individual working for a specific party who's willing to sell themselves out, including their companies, to fuel agendas, to fuel money, to fuel control and global control. And this is in the United States of America. Then they use an association to your platform, so celebrity status. Now, celebrity status has a whole entourage of industry, of yachts. We're seeing Leonardo DiCaprio in Saint-Tropez or whatever with another 28-year-old prostitute. However, page 6 is painting the picture as if that's normal behavior. And the man is an intelligent individual, so it's very complicated and interesting to me how page 6, ran by children, is going to post as if that's normal. But that's the dream of the young girl nowadays, because they want a man in their 40s if you're in your 20s, because men haven't become adults. I've talked to you about this before, where Leonardo DiCaprio never really grew up in the stages of a parent because he never had children. And so instead, he dated children. And I say that loosely because we all know 18 and older, you become an adult, so it's legal. However, mentally, you're in a cloud of, look at how attractive she is. However, at some point you realize how ignorant she is, how you have nothing in common. And then you create a sequencing in the men's world that's what you're chasing, is somebody like that. It has nothing to do with anything else other than the individuals involved. Meanwhile, we now have people who are at the leads of their career, evolving themselves, and creating brand deals with individuals who are not American. That's my biggest problem here. They're not only not American, they're not even good foreign governments. So they're Persian. They're manipulators. They're trash. They're everything that you ever said and talked against. You talked against them your entire career, and now all of a sudden, that's who's standing by your side in front of an organization and a society of socialites. So you either cannot be that dumb to sell yourself out to that low and then to continuously fall for the jargon and the bullshit, or you're very aware of what's going on, and the binder of maliciousness, of illegal activity that's actually going on here is very, very thick. But at some point, content creators need to be put into their place, because we as individuals are tired of Halle Berry's and all these other individuals who think they're something when they can't even hold a real authentic conversation. They can't even hold a real conversation of authentic conversation. What part of that do you not get? While you travel in fancy cars, while you bring your parents along? Let's walk the streets with my fiance in another fancy dress where she can still not keep her skin covered. Because that's all she has going for her is anorexia, which she's trying to teach clean eating. And that's who you now become as your brand. So we're talking children to come into the future. Of that is what kind of behavior they're going to try to live up to. Now that is a concern when you merge two brands, isn't it? However, you continue to post video, which makes it almost impossible to watch your content any longer. And this is for everybody who's doing these branding collabs with these men to women, as if your relationship is your priority. Because every time you show this person in your content, it tells a story, an unspoken story, to create horrors in your viewers and your followers. However, you still don't listen because you're still winning financially and you still see it in your numbers. However, subconsciously, it's a continuation day after day of how horrible your content has become and how you're moving into a space of insignificance. As she tries to manipulate the audience into believing things about who she is in association with you. Look and hold hands, look and hold hands, look and hold hands, look and hold hands. That's part of our gimmick. Look and hold hands, look and hold hands, look and hold hands. That's part of our gimmick. Meanwhile, she's now speaking in front of your community to ease herself into leadership roles within your organization, which actually is going to close your organization. And I don't even mean financially, I mean with ethics, morals, and values. However, you're still standing there with a piece of champagne and some little snacky snacks. As you all sit and talk nonsense to each other. And this is all part of the socialite community. Actors and actresses, acting. Why does this matter to you as content creators? Because they become the gateway that keeps you out of succeeding in your business. And I am not even talking about on a global scale. I'm talking about in a minor scale of reaching your local community, maybe reaching your state, maybe reaching your United States. But now we've got Russians and Persians and Saudi Arabians and all these foreign governments, you can call them foreign governments, closing the doors to anyone with actual information to offer people an educational experience, because they're the know-it-alls. They know it all. They watch what people want. When oftentimes with what we're dealing with social media is you don't work in a space of what they want. You work within a space of what they need. However, that isn't enough for you because that doesn't bring in the money bag. That's the democratic government. What do the people want so we can win the election? What do the people want? So we can give them free stuff until we get what we want, which is more money in our pocket and inflation. So the middle class loses and the wealthy gets wealthy. And now we have a new industry of content creation that's literally mirroring what Hollywood brings, which is basically a closed door for now our spiritual teachers, our meditation teachers, our yoga teachers, our health and wellness teachers are anorexics, they're self-centered, they're egotistical, and then they scream out, what is your best self? To them, winning looks like, look at how cool I am, look at my pretty outfit, look at my pretty trophy fiance, look at how pretty I am. Let me see how many people I can pull the wool over their eyes so that I can win and you can lose. We're in an extreme transitional space in society right now of the rich just getting richer, hanging out with more rich people, closing the doors to anyone at the low man on the totem pole. Perfectly evident in the visual, in the conversation, into the listening of what you all are up to, and it's all over the platforms. You offer absolutely nothing. You offer nothing more than a meditation of manipulation. Let me convince you that this is how it's going to go. That's not democracy, that's called control. You can go ahead all day long and say that your AI is the necessity, the necessary way to take this. However, I assure you there's some underlining messages that's the destruction of this planet so that your fiance can win and the rest of us can lose. And every time you post another video, you're sending the message. The doors have closed. The doors have closed. I closed them. The people that are in the spotlight right now are nothing more than egotistical, self-centered psychotics with sociopathic tendencies to abuse humanity so that they can make money, and they don't even like each other. Meanwhile, they will penetrate your space with a manipulation tactic of, I love you, continuously. I love you. I love you. Don't leave me. I love you. And this is for all of you. Buy from me. Buy from me. Buy from me. Buy from me. I'm working. Buy from me. I love you. Buy from me. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. While you use your soft romantic skills with her over there. Women, pay attention. It's the men's game they're playing. The women's game is way, 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 way worse. The men draw you in. The women send out punches, bullets, violence. It's like horrific. Then the men support that as normal behavior. So let me draw you in. Let me occur as a good guy. Let me teach you. And then here's my fiance who's going to bash you over the head. Because look at how pretty I am in my tiny dress. I didn't eat for 5 days. Let's eat clean. Let's see how many pictures that we can post in the next week to remind everyone how psychotic you all are. never-ending story of you trying to win, you trying to look cool, and you trying to destroy humanity to recreate it into some alien life form? I don't think so. You heard what I said. I don't think so. See, most of you don't like to have rules. Like Dua Lipa says, no rules, no laws. Well, I'm here to tell you, for you Hollywood, you are constrained. You don't even understand what it's like to feel free or to be free, and it has nothing to do with fans and followers. It has everything to do with you have no self-esteem. You're nothing but character chasers. You're nothing but characters in some movie. You have no identity about yourselves. And you create fake relationships to live fake lives so you can create content on a platform you don't even belong on. So you can fuel your own agendas to destroy our lives as civilians. Just to let all of you know, your movies actually are horrific. You're not as good as you think you are. And you're definitely not worth listening to when it comes to manifestation or your poor life that you've lived in harmony with your money bag that you sleep with at night. You wasted your lives. That's all I can say. Gary, you wasted 2 years of your life. And you just keep wasting more time. So, same for you. Same for you, Leonardo DiCaprio. Same for you, John Krasinski. You don't live in the real world. Don't let me forget Adam Levine either. You want to be worshipped. Go ahead, be worshipped. That's why you are so miserable. However, you sleep with the money bag, so you don't even really see what life is about. You're wasting time. We ain't got plenty of time. There ain't plenty of time left, folks. Content creation is not an easy business because the people in charge are psychotic. They're absolutely psychotic. It's evident in every video that you have posted about Cannes Lions Festival how psychotic you all are. How the door and the gate has already been placed. How evil you are as individuals while producing content, and you're screwing over millions of people. It is unbelievable to me that you continue to fall for prostitutes and you still aren't willing to sacrifice your business for the world at stake. It's called start talking. No, like really start talking. Africa's calling and they're tired of you. And they're tired of Black America too, by the way. Fucking dumbasses. You need to take a look at New York City that you claim to care so much about. And take a look at those homeless people now that are accruing on the street in front of the Roosevelt Hotel, who are literally flipping off Americans who are content creators. As they come from socialism, they're recreating socialism. We got to figure out how it's done. But it won't affect you, don't worry, socialites, because you already have all that money, and you'll just be on your private islands and your private yachts doing grotesque things to us poor folk. Because that's kind of how you operate, isn't it? Doing gross things with gross people. It's all over your platform. She's wearing a black dress in one of your videos. Grotesque things with grotesque people. You were on a podcast. Let's explore ourselves. Grotesque people doing grotesque things. She thinks she's so zen, so self-aware because she can suppress every emotion that she's ever had. It's so funny because that's actually the least advanced in spirituality that's ever existed. Which makes you destined for hell. So you need to start taking a look at yourself in the mirror, and you need to take responsibility for the BS that you be spouting out in your dental chair, in your on your content creation platforms, whatever it is. Because I'm moving this energy. I'm moving it hard, and I'm moving it fast. I'm sick and tired of watching this bullshit. As I finish today's episode of Cast on the Fly, I would like to say thank you for watching. Thanks for uncovering the corruption of our government. Make sure you're aware that Tomorrowland is bringing in a lot of demon energy from outside sources. Those folks are psychotic. They are not good people, and they are really demonic, and they're bringing all that energy wherever Tomorrowland is. It's pretty horrific. The fact that Biden is the president is the clearing of the space. So if you want to know what people are thinking in their minds, take a look at Biden, because that's who people really are. And you could tell Biden that, you can tell Biden anything and he'll report it. He believes in two genders. However, they're telling him to believe in otherwise. And so he's like, okay, I'll do that. That's not the kind of person you want as president. That is somebody who has no laws and rules within a country, which is why we're operating with all these foreign leaders coming to the country, because they're trying to see what they can get out of us. So they're destroying Disney. They're destroying children's lives. That's the plan. Miss Rachel is a terrible teacher. If you let your child watch Miss Rachel, you're not a good mom. If you watch Mona Van or Kim Kardashian, you're a terrible person. If you were at Cannes Lions or the Coke Party, known as the White Party, you're psychotic. If you're doing business with anyone from Saudi Arabia or Qatar, you have mental problems. If you're bringing in the Middle East into this country, and you're allowing a person that's sitting next to you as a trophy wife to act as if she's a doctor, to act as if she's a educator, to place her as valuable, to steal my content so she can grow her business, then you have mental problems. The fact that you thought you could get away with this tells me you have mental problems. And then take me to court for it tells me that you got mental problems. There's more good people on this planet than people like you. And that's the world of content creation. A bunch of ignorant, immature children running around acting as if they're teachers when all they did was not listen in class, not study for tests, never show up to class, promote erotica, and bully each other. And that's content creation at this time. And it's gotten even more worse as politics and adults got involved. Because you've never met an adult who's been through HELL and back because of a prostitute until you met a bitter woman like Hillary Clinton. Little does she know how intelligent and strong I am. All I can think about is the trash heap from Fraggle Rock, and then I think of her face. It's quite grotesque. Anyway, thank you for watching. Thank you for telling your family and your friends. Watch your feet. And that is all for today's show.